Wake up, Shinigami. You're chugging Bleach with the only podcast that unlocks your bunkai.
Welcome to Chugging Bleach, the anime review podcast where we actually cover Bleach, the movie 1. Memories of Nobody.
Let's go.
Exciting. So
No bounce.
Yeah, no bounce.
Technically.
No bounce at all. No technicals here. Don't worry about who voices these new villains.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all Nobodies and no bounce.
No bounce, but we got blanks.
But as usual, we have our typical cast. I'm here. I'm Bob Video Games. Here with Dan Video Games.
Now, Bob, we are going to do this as a video, so this cool flip I'm about to perform will show up, right?
Absolutely. Go ahead and do it.
Okay, here we go. Ow!
Jesus.
You okay, man?
I'm good. It's fine. It's fine. Johnny Young Bosch made it look so easy.
He really did.
I have KZ Excellent here.
I just love seeing people get brutalized in anime.
And of course, Mr. Field from Mr. Field Wild Ride.
Hello.
As I mentioned, this time we watched the first Bleach movie. Big sap. So
What was the other thing? I thought that was a movie. What was it, Bob? Can you inform me? Because I'm ignorant.
the OVAs we watched?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
this isn't the first Bleach movie we've watched on this series, though.
Oh, right. We watched
my
the live
God,
action.
we
one.
watched the live action movie. That's not.
Okay, hold on. Were me and Dan the only ones who remembered the Bleach live action movie?
Look, that wasn't the first movie, though. That was
Yeah, you're
the
right.
first one we
It also
watched.
wasn't a movie.
That's like the latest Bleach movie, technically.
God, it is the latest Bleach movie, technically.
Yeah, like that's.
But this
what,
time
the
we
last
watched
5 years or something.
Bleach, the movie 1.
Yes.
Is that really the title?
I'm pretty sure they'd have like movie 1 somewhere in there.
Okay.
But
That's
you know.
usually how it's described online for a lot of these shonen got a movie things.
Bleach, Rogue One.
Finally.
They're gonna explain where they got the plans for the Soul Society.
Oh God.
Yeah, that scene where Kenpachi shows up in the hallway and all the jobbers are there, it was real rough.
I mean, to be fair, Kenpachi would have made Darth Vader look like he wasn't even trying. Man, this hallway has ribbons in it. Oh, that's human flesh.
Anyway, before we get into talking about the movie, how can people hear about the movie early?
1 full month early.
1 full month.
Well, you can do that by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get many benefits, such as early access to this show, Chugging Bleach. In fact, if you're listening to this show on YouTube right now, there is another episode waiting for you on Patreon if you give us $5 or more per month. And that'll be true always at all times. Until the show is over, when we're all dead.
Maybe I'll be dead before it's over.
Extended armchair dev pitches and gamer premonitions. When those shows force us to leave ideas on the cutting room floor, and a patron exclusive show 1 per month where you get to vote on what good or bad thing we have to watch and then talk about. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. And if you don't have any money, you can always tell your friends, which are hopefully your real friends, and not some mass of things attached to you that show up intermittently and trick and gaslight you. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited for the new run of Bleach to finally end, so that way they can announce the sequel series, Ammonia.
Oh my God.
Ooh. I don't know where you could possibly fit this in the actual summary part. But we're watching some of those special features on the DVD, and there was one thing in it that fucked me up bad, which was the realization that Mayuri Kuretsuchi's English voice actor looks way too much like Michael Eisner. And that really ruined me, hearing that sound come out of that dude.
I mean, to be fair, I was not expecting to hear that voice come out of that guy. That was impressive.
Granted, Renji's voice actor just made me laugh.
Yeah, so Bob has actually owned this DVD since it came out
Yes.
in the States a billion years ago. They have a behind the scenes where they explore Viz Media. It is delightful. in how antiquated it seems.
Yeah, if you can find this, go ahead and check it out.
Also, for anyone who did that and is sitting here watching this being like, this seems kind of bad, you could skip the first 5 to 10 minutes. Because the first 5 to 10 minutes is, what is Bleach? We're going to explain to you what Bleach is. And it's like, but this is for the movie.
It's written the way that you didn't watch anything else. You just watched the movie. Which is how a lot of anime companies thought about this sort of thing, like in the 80s and 90s. So the thought that it was still happening in 2008 is hilarious.
Yeah.
The way they were explaining shit was making me go insane. They're like, you don't understand. It's in Japanese. We have to make it in English.
We have to turn those into English words. It was really delightful seeing young as hell Troy Baker being like, I play Gonryu. Gonryu's great because he's pure evil.
Yeah, they really didn't have much to go on, which we'll get into.
Yeah, let's get into the summary, though.
Yeah, what's up with this movie feel? How's it go?
Man, I thought we were out of the Bound arc. Let's get started.
Look, I don't know if this will spoil something that's not out yet, but this movie had the biggest buff in the world because we watched it right after Bubble. And it looks immaculate next to that.
I think for patrons, this comes out in the same week, so that's funny as shit.
And then for the people that don't end up paying, they're like, I remember that. They thought that shit sucked 3 weeks ago.
So we open on the Soul Society Technical Support Lab, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Someone needs to trying to call in to get their auto fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Rukia's voice actress is also doing one of the random people in this lab, and it is really fucking obvious that she's not even trying to do a different voice.
These things happen.
The stealth force has been sent to investigate the Dangai precipice, and they immediately die because they're the stealth force.
I love the stealth
They're
force
killed
so much.
instantly.
When filler content needs someone to die, just call in the stealth force.
We don't even see them. We hear their voices like over the radio, and then like a light board has their names. It's like runs down dead.
Yeah, we don't even know what kills them even by the end of the movie. It's like, what'd they do? They were out there near something. They dropped so hard they died.
Yeah, they went to the Dangai Precipice world to explore the dimensional area, but insertion failed and the restrictive current is too strong. I wrote as much of this as I could because it gave me real ending of Blaze Blue 1 flashbacks.
Yeah, okay.
So we cut to like a park. There's like people there having fun. A man is juggling. A dog is sniffing the camera. It's autumn. A child is running from a hollow. It's invisible, but it's obviously a hollow. We fucking know how hollows work.
Mm-hmm.
A tree falls down and everybody looks, but they can't see anything because it's a hollow. But Ichigo and Rukia show up, and Rukia actually transforms into a Soul Reaper. She's not just and uses a sword. It's very different from the Bout arc where she could do nothing ever.
Yeah.
I love that we were watching that behind the scenes, and Rukia's voice actress is like, yeah, I'm actually get to chase a hollow in this. I was thinking I haven't done it in a long time.
And we were all just like, oh.
And I'm like, I know they dubbed this shit in order. That must suck so bad.
Yeah.
Ichigo cuts the hollow and it runs away. He chases it through the trees, doing a very Naruto-esque jumping through the trees segment. Ichigo's basically just owning the shit out of it. He's like cutting off pieces of it every time he catches up. He cuts it off a couple times, like gets ahead of it, and then just splits it down the middle, and it's owned. It's dead. The girl it was chasing was actually a spirit that has to be purified with the Kanso. Is that what the fuck they call it?
Yes.
And she's like, I'm scared. And Ruki's like, no, you get to go to Soul Society and live in an authoritarian shithole. It'll be great. and then Ichigo taps her with the thing and she leaves. They go to get their bodies back, and Ruki is like, Ichigo, you should actually use cone instead of just jumping out of your body and leaving it around like fucking refuse. She also says that like his body's dead when she specifically calls it his Gigai, and I'm like, it's not a Gigai, it's his body.
Yeah, that was driving me fucking insane.
Yeah. And then I thought that he was supposed to pass out, not die when he left his body.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that is the case in everything but this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird little problems like that throughout this movie. I noticed. Just like,
They really wanted Ichigo's body to just present as a joke.
Yeah.
But she's like, Ichigo, stop leaving your body around. Fucking, it'll freak people out. It's basically a corpse. And then as if to prove her point, they find Ichigo's body being taken away by paramedics. And Ichigo jumps back into it, and they're like, no, we have to take you to the hospital. So Rukia has to flashbang them.
Yeah, she does
they can all escape.
She does the MIB thing.
I like that because it was like Ichigo has the reaction anyone in the U.S. does when they try and get him in an ambulance.
No, they charge you $500 just for the ride. No.
Yeah, please no. I did think it was hilarious when they immediately go, "Oh no, he's in cardiac arrest." I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys.
Ichigo abuses Kon for a while because he's mad that Rukia was right. He's just like beating the shit out of him, stomping him into the ground. It's
That's
really
part
just
of the movie.
A woman proved me wrong, so I have to be really mad.
I mean, Kon always deserves physical abuse, so
Yes.
it's always good when you physically abuse Kon. I really did enjoy this scene genuinely. I thought it was a really good, like, yeah, and then Ichigo's just gonna grind his heel into the top of Kon's head.
Yeah, I was like, this is great. Keep doing it.
Rukia and Ichigo sense some really intense spiritual pressure, and like, we got to go off towards it. It's at this train station.
Yep, and as they run towards it, it plays a song, and I realized the Bount arc has truly ruined me. I don't even associate it with Bleach anymore. I associate it with Bleach filler.
Oh my god.
No, that's rough, man.
Yeah.
You need to detox that.
It'll give it a year.
I hope.
So as much time as the Bount arc. They find a bunch of bizarre spirits wandering around. They have like ghosts with pointy tentacles for heads. Nobody else can see them, obviously. Ichigo and Rukia transform again. Ichigo woefully uses Kon, but Kon and Ichigo's body is just immediately swarmed by these ghosts. Ichigo tries to purify one and it fails. And there's a lot of flowing cloth shots to show everyone they have money. All the ghosts are like grabbing everybody because Ichigo's like, I don't know what the fuck these things are. I don't want to just start killing them. Then a new Soul Reaper shows up who is not as restrained as Ichigo, and she just starts mulching them. She transforms her sword into like a priest's staff, and like the thing that fucking who's the motherfucker from
Moroku?
Inuyasha? Moroku.
Yeah.
Yeah, she transforms into like a Shinto priest staff and starts blowing them away with her tornado powers. Do you think she could solo Karya?
They both have the same power set of like wind. I bet she could power up to lightning.
While this is all happening, Kon sees like a guy in Chinese imperial armor just standing in the middle of the ghosts, but it's only for like 5 frames.
Yeah.
I got mixed up a little bit. She hasn't released her thing yet, but she does now, and Ichigo jumps to block her. But she just air steps off him and does it instantly, and it says, "Bring them to the twilight, Miroku Maru." And then just it's like in a Musou game where you pop your super and just everything around you dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like she makes a big cyclone that just mulches them all.
Yeah, she used her true Musou, because there was lightning.
Yeah, and so many of them just despawn in one frame.
And then she also vanishes, except she didn't vanish. She instantly appears behind Ichigo somehow. She introduces herself as Senna, and Ichigo starts trying to question her, but she's just ignoring all of his questions. He's getting sandbagged hard. And Ichigo wants to pursue her to keep nagging at her, but he has to go get his body back because Kon got knocked out of his body, which I didn't think could happen. But I guess it can. I guess if you throw up that fucking pill.
I threw up.
These things are strong enough to knock that out of him. He's supposed to be like super strong and whatnot.
They just burped him like a baby. They just went, come on. Come on.
Whatever, it's Kon.
Come on, Kon. Come on. And then he's like,
we cut to Soul Society and Ikaku, which is Kenpachi's third in command.
Bald.
Who had the spear. And Iba, who is the dude with like a flat top and sunglasses, who is Komamura's lieutenant. They're having a drinking contest in the middle of the day, and then they start to argue and then start to spar and throw sexual innuendos at each other.
Actually, they were just chillaxing and drinking, and then Shades finished off the drink, which really pissed off Baldy.
The implication I thought was that they were just okay. We're gonna drink and then fight, and then whoever loses has to go get us more, so we can repeat this process.
Yeah, that did feel
seem
like it.
the cycle.
Yeah, that seems like what they would do every day. It really killed me that it starts with Ikaku seemingly drinking it for like 3 or 4 straight seconds, and then getting mad when it's like, I left you 1 drop.
Yeah. He's kind of a piece of shit.
Well, it's like that game in Mario Party where you can take between 1 and 3 coins, and the goal is to not take the last coin.
Yes.
And here I was thinking of the bigger game, where he just keeps pumping it up.
It is the same game, yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That is a whole genre of Mario Party minigame for sure.
Anyway, they're gonna spar, but like a big like Kingdom Hearts portal opens in the sky above Sarate and shows the human world.
Man, that's what you thought when you saw that? I thought nobody would think of that.
I was just thinking of one of the late arcs of the original Digimon anime. I'm like, oh no, the other world's just being shown in the sky now. Things are fucked.
Where's the Digimon podcast?
20K. We move on. We move back to the human world, and Ichigo and Rukia are still basically they're basically babysitting this girl Senna, and she's still not answering any fucking questions. There's a CGI Ferris wheel. It does not look good. Senna is like a crackhead and just will not answer a question. Here's where I need to point out that Rukia's dress just makes her ass look huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
It is like some like Princess Peach like poof out.
Yeah,
But it's
from the
also a
hips.
skirt.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's very strange.
I didn't think about that necessarily, that it was the skirt's fault, but I saw that and I was like, I don't remember that being the case. So thank you for saying anything, because at first I thought maybe I just fucking forgot.
She hasn't done anything in a while.
We've been in filler. Nobody's on model during that.
Well,
I can't use that as a reference.
There you go. She's been working it out, sitting on her ass doing nothing.
She's like, I have to go back to Soul Study because my cell reception is bad. I can't get through. I have 0 bars, Ichigo. I have to go.
Yeah.
In the 30 seconds they were talking, Senna has ditched them and started running, so Mario Sunshine music plays as he chases her.
Yes.
Out of fucking nowhere, the Hitsugeya and Rangiku just show up, and like we have to talk to Ichigo and start to take him away, and a kid who can't see Hitsugeya and Rangiku obviously is like, "Mommy, that man's insane," and points at him. They go to Urahara's fucking shop. Hitsugaya explains the town appeared above Sarate, and Ichigo is so dense that Urahara has to like have his assistant pull out like a fucking whiteboard for him to explain the plot of this movie and the mechanics of it.
Yeah, for some reason, again, this is made for movie audiences who haven't watched any of the show, so they're like, we need to explain the entire universe of Bleach.
It's really,
and they sit down and do it.
It's really funny though, because they have to draw the souls on there, so they go dot 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 dot.
Yes, there is some good like visual aids here.
It's real good.
It's like, where's Rukia to do this? Oh well, Tessai works, I guess.
I know, that was the weirdest part. It was like, this is a Rukia bit.
Yeah, but I like how fast he goes on like flipping through some of those, to the point where I'm like, I might make that the thumbnail and put something in the paper.
It's really good.
He's like, okay, there's Soul Society and the Living World, and between them is the Dangai Precipice, but a new dimension called the Valley of Screams has started to form, and it's getting big enough to connect them. Hitsuge is here to investigate because nobody else wanted to, and also he's popular with the fans. I actually thought this during the Bound arc, but I'm really curious to see if like every single filler thing in Bleach, every non-canon thing in Bleach is just like, and here's the most popular character who consistently gets #1 in every fan poll, Hitsugeya.
Oh yeah, Theo, the next movie is a Hitsugeya movie.
Oh yeah,
it's mask off over there. They don't care.
This is
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like, not to be mean, but this is like if we got to the 5th Dragon Ball movie and it was like Oolog's Revenge. The cover of the film has him ripped as shit.
I really can't handle it, because I feel like what's going to happen is we're going to hit 2 more filler arcs, and we're going to find out the trend for all of them is multiple captains meetings where nothing is achieved, and Hitsugai is always the leader of a special task force that will deal with the filler problem.
You know, we don't have to worry about that for a while, so let's not.
Right?
Urahara explains those weird ghosts are called blanks, which are wandering souls that get lost in the cycle of rebirth and cross and get separate, like their memories get separated from the souls. So they're souls with no memories. They eventually combine and form the new dimension, the Valley of Screams. This time it's worse because it's big enough that it's connecting these two dimensions. The memories also eventually combine and make a thing called the
Shinenju?
the Shinenju, which they say is a jewel.
Yes.
In this scene. Hitsuge is like, somebody must be doing this deliberately, and Kon's like, I saw a guy in armor. And then he's like, oh, tell us what you know, Kon. And Kon's like, don't worry, I have a mind like a steel trap. And then obviously he can't remember shit.
Yep.
So Tessay rips the pill out and is just gonna mind read him.
It was really
he can
good.
do that, I guess.
They did it so nonchalantly. They're just like, bop! And then the pill comes out and he's like, I'm gonna go analyze this.
They say that whoever's doing this must want the Shinenju, so Ichigo, go look for the Shinenju. So he goes out to look for this thing that he doesn't know what it looks like or anything about it. You'd think that the fucking whiteboard explanation could include what this thing might take the form of, considering they know enough to give it a name. So obviously it's showed up before.
No, they just know this stuff somehow. Don't think about why they would have a name for it.
Ichigo finds Senna again, but then she runs again.
Yeah, he finds her next to afternoon tea living.
Yeah, most of this movie takes place in this weird outdoor mall that looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I like this setting.
Yeah.
It's neat. It's cute.
Yeah, there's some guys up on the stage doing like shtick. They're like, we're gonna watch this dude drink a gallon of orange soda in 10 seconds, and then he does that, and then another guy rips off his clothes.
Yeah, because they're like, wait a second, that wasn't 10 seconds, it was 6. And then he goes, you know what that means? And then they rip off his suit, and I'm like,
and I'm like, Japanese variety comedy is blight on humanity.
I don't see what the problem is here.
No, it's cool. On Big Thing Dimension, I'm going to be like, I feel like by the time this podcast come out, they'll delay Redfall, and then they delay it before we finish recording, so then you guys rip my clothes off, and that's a really good bit.
Let's not talk about things that we predicted 9 hours before they happened.
Who is this?
I feel like we predicted that months ago.
Yeah, no, seeing game. Whatever, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. Senna is suddenly on the roof and is gonna like do a tightrope walk across a string of lights. A guy on the ground with a spotlight is like, I want her to die, and instantly shines it in her fucking eyes.
Yeah, no, that was insane.
I love to see girls fail.
She falls and then teleports with her wind powers before she hits the ground, I guess, and shows up next to Ichigo, and everybody's like, what a good magic trick, and they applaud. Ichigo figures out the key to getting this girl to answer his questions is to feed her. So she's like, fine, I'll buy her food.
He buys her what appears to be cheese sandwiches.
Hey, they got tomatoes.
Cheese sandwiches.
I believe they are intended to be Capri sandwiches. Like Capri salad. Ichigo's like, oh, your ribbon is red now instead of yellow. And she's like, yeah, I think red suits me better. I just stole it from this store. And Ichigo's like, I'm a rube. We have to go back and pay for it. So they do that. And the clerk bullies Ichigo a little bit. Like, is this for your girlfriend? He's like, no, it's for my sister, who I'm dating.
Oh. We're not watching that sort of anime.
There was a really good line before they go back to buy the red ribbon where Senna just goes, looks like you're going to have to wait for the guys with pointy hats to show up again. And I'm like, welp. Time to go to Crestview.
She goes to the restroom to retie the ribbon. And on the way back, she has like a flashback of her dad being dead. And then some people eating that is clearly not the same family.
Yes.
Ichigo dutifully waits because, again, he is a rube. And he's like, wait, where did everybody go? Because suddenly everybody's gone.
I feel like this makes him more of a rube than the other thing, honestly. This is a very specific type of rube, powerful energy that's very powerful.
Senna has fucked off and has gone to a cemetery and starts remembering her own funeral. Blanks show up and attack her, and then a big dude with fist blades shows up and says he'll bring her to Gonryu. And we also see the mini boss squad for the movie who are like, hurry it up.
Yes.
Yeah, the huge dude has a name. His name's Jai. I didn't catch a single other name other than Gonryu, though.
These guys are even more like ethereal than a filler arc squad.
Yeah, they are like really low rent anime movie. We're all gonna die in 12 minutes.
Senna's like, I'm not just gonna let you just go with you. So he turns into a Soul Reaper and starts throwing around her wind powers that make big leaves, big like the stereotypical autumn leaf.
Yeah.
Fly around and she attacked, but she just gets punched. She gets owned instantly because of course she does. Then Ichigo shows up and instantly cuts the guy's arm off, like frame one.
It's great.
Like fucking
wonderful.
Like that fucking Hiei scene in the Dark Tournament where he's like, I already attacked you, fool, and then holds up the guy's arm. They all teleport away because an Ichigo that's allowed to cut off arms is unbeatable.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen villains immediately retreat this quickly.
To be fair, in a lot of things, if you just started severing bad guy limbs, they would bail.
All I was thinking about is like, man, if only the Bounts arc was like this.
Yeah, if the Bounts arc was a movie, it'd be way better. It'd be over.
You might say this movie is very much like if the Bounts arc was a movie.
That's kind of what I was thinking of, because I fell into this hole after we watched, and I was just thinking to myself, what if you just swapped story concepts for movie and arc?
I don't know.
Would it do better or worse?
I don't know. It's not like the villain of this movie is a white-haired character voiced by Troy Baker.
Did you see the villain has a plan though, not 12?
Yeah.
They only got 90 minutes, Bob. They only have 90 minutes.
That didn't stop Ginkaria for having 4 plans in 25 minutes.
That's true. That dude had so many plans across 90 minutes of that TV show.
Look at the last 90 minutes of that arc. Oh my god.
Dude, I wish we saw this dude as a baby.
I was thinking about it. I was like, these bad guys seem better than the Bounts arc bad guys, but I think that's because they didn't have enough time to poorly develop their backstory and then have them change their motives and things. This guy's big and he has cool arm blades. That's it.
Well, since they ran away, Senna tries to ditch him again, but Ichigo's like, you're coming home with me. All of his family thinks he's a sex pervert because he brought a girl home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ichigo's just like, oh, fuck all of you, and takes her to his room. She shit talks him for basically having an R-male living spaces room and not having anything on the walls. Then she has a flashback of her abusive father.
I know. It was the funniest line in the world. As somebody who grew up in an abusive household, I can say this. It was the funniest fucking line in the world, where it's just like, your dad is weird. Unlike my dad, immediately remembers being abused. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I thought this movie actually did a pretty good job of this weird multiple memories thing.
Yeah, that kind of hit like a truck, where I'm like, hey, you're getting way too real.
I know,
with
that
something
was,
you're depicting here. I was not ready.
They're leaning into it like she's gonna have a happy memory, and then it just rolls a 1. And I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, because she has so many good memories of different families, but no, one.
She went to pull one out, and it was just cancerous.
Yes,
and it's like, I'm gonna pick you up by the hair on the front of your fucking head and slam you down.
I'm like, oh my god, what? Like, that actually sent me. Because I don't think I've ever seen anything where it's just like, your dad's kind of weird, unlike mine, who's good, remembers. Oh, wait, no, that's terrible. Like, holy shit.
She refuses to answer more questions and is like, I'm gonna take over your bed, Ichigo. Ichigo's entire family is outside the door snooping because a tall, attractive teenager getting pussy is apparently the most interesting thing in the world and also unheard of. But Ichigo just chases them off, and in the 10 frames this took, Senna fell asleep.
Yes.
Later they cut to like obviously later. Somehow he got her out of his bed, and takes a call from Urahara. The guy Cone saw is from a family that tried to do a coup in Soul Society and got banished. Then Ichigo asks if Soul Reapers have memories of being alive, and Urahara says no, but the kid in the parrot remembered Chad.
Yeah.
So obviously they remember things.
Yeah.
I assumed it was just like, this doesn't matter because most Soul Reapers are like 150 years old. It's obviously a non-issue. They've been here longer than they were alive.
Yeah, this was another thing, like I said early on, like, man, they get some random things just completely wrong.
By the way, to throw out some proper nouns, they're called the Clan of Darkness, the Dark One, and also Ryodoji. They throw all this out really fast. And I'm like, whoa, okay, let me write that down. Yeah, I thought that was weird too when they said that in the film, but I'm like, I'm an idiot. It feels like almost all of my Bleach experience at this point is lies.
Well, by volume, roughly half, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's rough.
Yeah, it never felt like the Soul Reapers didn't remember being alive. It just more felt like, well, like Captain Koraku's like 800 years old. Why, like, I was like a peasant in the medieval times and died. Oh, well.
Rip.
Ichigo takes Senna back to the station where they saw all the blanks in the morning. They're like, Ichigo is now noticing that there is sometimes way more or too few people in places where Senna is. Ichigo's like, you need to stay close to me, but she ran off already. And he has to chase her again. They find a dead kid's spirit, and he's like, I don't know where my dad was. I died in a car wreck on the way here, I guess. And Ichigo's like, oh, I better purify him. And she's like, no, we need to find his dad. So there's a scene of them hanging out while opera plays while they try to find this kid's dead dad.
It's really strange because this movie depicts Ichigo as being terrible at dealing with spirit kids, and it's like, that was supposed to be something. And the whole point is that
was his that was the whole point, is that was like his strength.
Yeah, it's very strange.
They find a festival up near a temple, even though there's no reason for a festival to be there. They find the kid's dad, who is also dead.
I want to... This festival, did anyone else get Oshi vibes from the way some of the people are animated coming out of it?
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't just me. I was like, this is weirdly Oshi-like.
It's when you bridge that gap between humans as a solid and a fluid.
And I had some of that feeling early on in the movie when they showed the dog in the Fish Islands. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of got those vibes, yeah.
Yes. But they're like, oh, everybody's here because of you, Senna. Or everybody's here because of you. It's because of you, Senna. And then they leave, and the whole crowd is gone, or most of the crowd is gone. Senna is having an existential crisis because I wrote down here, spoilers, she's the Shininju. Obviously at this point in the movie. Then through a big gate, Ukitake, Hitsugaya, Rukia, Rangiku, Soifan, and Renji show up, which seems like a weird fucking spread organization-wise. It's just like, here's the people you know.
Yeah, that was the popularity rankings. I don't know what else it was supposed to be.
They show up and say Senna has to come with them because there's no record of any Soul Reaper named Senna, and the Zanpakuto she has belonged to somebody who died in the Dangai Precipice 100 years ago, which I guess is what the opening of the movie was?
Yeah, I guess that was 100 years ago, even though a different line in the movie I thought implied it was much more recent, but I don't know. I guess that was 100 years ago.
Then they reveal that she's the Shininju and that Gonryu needs her to destroy everything.
And then Ichigo debunks that shit, and he goes, she's a people.
Yeah, she's like, she's a people. She's a people, and then because it implies that he'll fight all of them, and I'm like, you guys better not fuck with him. He's like super powerful in this movie. He'll fuck you up.
He's gonna start naming captains.
Yes, I literally wrote. Luckily, the bad guys show up before Renji loses both of his arms.
I wish the Bleach movie got that unhinged.
It's okay, Ichigo. We forgive you for literally naming Renji.
He's just Renji after all.
Yeah, we kind of think he deserves it.
So all the bad guys show up. All the spirits Senna summoned appear again and become blanks. The big guy from earlier with the hand blades appears again, and Ichigo transforms, and they start to fight. Soifan engages the woman, who the stealth force all get owned by blanks.
Yes, that was so sad. I was like, the stealth force at this point would just job to a fucking crowded stadium.
It's like you lost to something worse than Power Ranger putties.
We're gonna get to the point where like Kago will accidentally defeat a stealth force guy in some power.
That has to be something that's happened.
Oh my god.
There's like a guy with like weird gadgets and like missile batteries on his back that Hitsugeya engages. Renji engages a dude with big clubs. Ukitake engages the remaining pretty boy antagonist who doesn't have any real traits at all. He has long hair. That's it. Senna transforms and immediately tries to attack the leader who's up in the sky and just gets instantly fucking bodied because of course she does.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
All the villains are like, well, we fucking got what we came here for. We don't need to fight you motherfuckers, and then dip. And then I put in all caps, it's fucking Gonryu again. He has white hair and a scar and is voiced by Troy Baker.
But see, this time, instead of sounding like this, he sounds a little bit more like this.
Yeah, he's Witcher core Troy Baker.
Yeah, he sounds like he's been waiting 20 minutes for his order at a fast food place and he's gritting his teeth.
Yeah, I feel like the grittiness only like came through in like the last third of his lines in the movie where he's actually trying to try.
Are you trying to say that his performance is inconsistent?
I'm just saying that when he was fighting, he becomes Gruff Man at the end. But other than that, it's just Gonryu for the rest of the movie where I'm just like, this is the exact same shit.
Halfway through dubbing this, they're like, hey guys, is it just me or is he just doing the Gonryu voice again? And he's like, no, I sound completely different this time.
It's different, I promise.
That's when he says, eat my asshole.
You see, it was fine for people like me who didn't get to watch that in English and just saw the movie in English.
Oh, that's good.
I was like, yeah, this is just how this guy sounds.
Very cool.
And instead, this is actually the secret 10th month of the Bount arc.
Yeah, it really does feel that way. Ukitake says, Gonryu is wearing the armor of the banished Ryo Doji family. Gonryu says, I don't know anything about any banished family. We're from the Dark Clan. And then all the blanks turn into missiles and blow up people, and they explicitly kill all the Stealth Force guys. They're dead.
Yeah!
The villains think everybody is dead and are gonna leave, but Ichigo flies up out of the dust in Bankai mode and blocks their path. I was really hoping this would be like a Tree of Might moment where he solos all the non-main antagonist characters in one scene, but that does not happen. He just dodges them, but then is instantly impaled by. I think Gonryu uses the fucking Miroku Maru, like its hilt, which is a spear, and it just impales him.
Yeah, it's got some sort of extending spear it's a sneaky tactic. He hides it under
his cloak thing.
Yeah, under Senna, he's holding this spear that extends.
Yeah.
Ichigo falls, and the villains leave, and the other Soul Reapers pursue, and Senna does a really funny scream.
Yes.
Like it's ridiculous.
Yes, no, that was very funny.
We cut to Ichigo being healed. Orihime is now here because they need a white mage. Ichigo's waking up. Chad and Ishida are also there.
It's crazy that none of the other ones were even in the movie until this scene. It's like, how did you do this?
Every time they show up in this movie, I laugh.
Okay, so Urahara explains the villain's plans, which is much more in depth than I expected from this movie. Mm-hmm. He plans to inflate the Valley of Screams big and round, and then use the Shininju to collapse it, and the vacuum that is now between the Soul Society and the human world will suck them together and make them impact and destroy everything ever.
All right,
that's his plan.
Yeah.
Urahara also says Soul Reapers can't get to the Valley of Screams because there's only an entrance in the human world, and coming here to go through the entrance is impossible for some reason.
Well, they don't even know about the entrance in the human world. They're just like, we don't know how to get in at all.
No. Urahara explicitly said there's only an entrance in the living world. They just say we don't know where it is.
Oh, okay.
I wish my notes covered this. It skips most of this explanation to 2 scenes later.
But everybody, he's like, everybody go look for the entrance. Ichi goes back to the shrine and finds Senna's ribbon like embedded in the shrine. He's emotionally motivated as he flashes back to what a fucking crackhead this girl is.
Yes.
She be mad quirky.
Then he remembers what she said about how she likes high up places because she keeps getting to high up places. So he goes to a really high up place and can see it. It's a big glowing spot in the river.
Because she said she used to walk by the river and her house was, quote, somewhere around here earlier in the film. And it's like, oh, that's our hints that there's a hole in the water. Okay.
Ichigo's like, Rukia, go get back up. I'm just gonna go. And he jumps in. The villains have crucified Senna in this weird Naruto valley that the Valley of Screams is. And it's like, wow, they really just redid the Soul Society arc twice, once with the Bount arc and once with this. Then Gonryu explains his family's backstory, and it's just another Bount arc flashback, down to them eating souls, down to them absorbing the blanks. Like, I was stroking out. We get like a scene where Gonryu once again explains the inflate the Valley of Screams, destroy it, vacuum, destroy both. But it cuts halfway through to Mayuri explaining the rest, which I thought was neat.
They have a cool
He's like,
CG diagram for this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, they have like the Star Killer base's hologram up while Mayuri explains it. He's like, we have 1 hour. Mayuri says there's nothing they can do, but he sounds really chill about it. Like, you know that episode of Futurama with the garbage bowl?
No.
Where Professor what's the fuck is Professor's name?
Farnsworth?
But anyway, the evil Farnsworth's his rival Professor Wernstrom is just like, we're all going to die horribly, ha 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 ha, and doesn't care. It gave me that energy.
It'd be scientifically interesting to be atomized, according to Mayuri, I think.
Yes.
Yamamoto's like, oh, we'll blow it up with the big Kido cannon. And then Ukitake's like, but sir, that'll cause extensive damage to the living world and to Soul Society. He's like, big gun.
Never heard of this thing. I'm like, did they just invent a nuke for this movie?
Yes, they did.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Rukia bursts in and is like, no, there's a door. We can send people to help, but please send people to help Ichigo. Yamamoto says, no, this is a movie version of the Bount arc. Nothing can be easily resolved. So they cut to this fucking cannon, which once again looks like some shit from Naruto. It's like a giant crystal staff made of CG.
I don't know. I didn't really get the Naruto energy, but it's definitely very strange.
Between this and like the big gray valley of rock that is the Valley of Screams, it's like, please stop it. You're giving me flashbacks. Rukia watches this and mopes, and Renji shows up and is like, I know you're going to go anyway, so I'll also go. We cut back to Senna being crucified, and all the blanks are like piling onto her and making like a big goo. But Ichigo shows up and cuts them. Also a mountain, because his power level is a really fucking high in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually accurate to where the anime was for once.
Yeah, we just don't remember what his real power level's like anymore.
And he just immediately starts fighting Gonryu. Like, he goes right for this dude's throat. It's like, no, we're not doing this Jinkarya shit again where I lose 6 times. I'm sorry.
We barely had time for you to stab me once.
Then the other jobbers show up with a bunch more blanks. And the blank swallows Senna on her cross again. And Ichigo throws like a mountain obliterating Getsuga Tenso at the guy. And then all the blanks like start to coalesce on her, and they form the tree from Devil May Cry 5.
I mean, it's just a tree of might, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It really looks like the fucking tree from Devil May Cry 5 to me.
I feel like it's
Also,
not fleshy and pulsing enough with enough pustules of devil energy to qualify for that for me.
I also thought of Elden Ring.
That also has a tree in it.
Start the Twitter account.
Yeah, hey, that'll be like the Wii U guy that loved the water in every video game.
Yes.
Urahara and the other human characters stand on the bridge over the portal and talk about how none of them can go help. Rukia and Renji show up and say they're gonna help, but Hitsugaya and Rangiku show up and say they'll also go and imply there are other people, but we don't see them. Senna had turned into that big fucking tree, and Ichigo's still fighting the jobbers. I write in my notes, I wish they just do the Tree of Might thing and have him wax all 6 of them effortlessly.
That would be good.
No, we need to see sequences with these other captains fighting, because
then in something that takes the movie up for me, Kenpachi is airdropped in like a nuke.
Yeah,
Yes!
he hits the ground and it just crumbles.
Ikaku, Peacock, Hitsugaya, Rangiku, Izuru, Iba, and Shuhei are all there also. The lieutenants, however, are all on blank duty, I guess.
Yeah.
The woman who now has like a sniper crossbow tries to blow Peacock Guy's head off a couple times, but the bullets just aren't going anywhere. And she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then Soifan's like, "Oh no, I caught them out of the air without you noticing because I'm really fast." Then they start fighting, and she lasts 30 seconds before she gets double tapped by Soifan's thing and just dissolves.
They do the first tap, and I'm like, are they really going to keep doing this? Is it going to be like the fucking Bount arc? We get one tap, and then the second one doesn't happen, or it takes for fucking ever, and then she immediately hits with the second. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, and then it has the reaction I was hoping for, and she just explodes.
Yeah, just white sulfur.
There's not 3 minutes of a monologue before the character fucking fades out.
It's not some sort of poison. No, you're just exploding. just nothing.
Ding, dead.
It's like, oh man, I can't believe they died so fast. And then there's one of those white ash snakes or whatever from fucking 4th of July.
Yeah. Kenpachi's in the big tree, and there's like the pretty boy who's, I guess, is a ninja. Kenpachi hunts this dude for sport. This dude deploys all of his tricks on Kenpachi, and they just all basically bounce off him. And then Kenpachi kills him in a manner that seems nonchalant. Like, he just swings his sword, it bisects him, we immediately cut to another fight. It's like, no, you don't need confirmation. Kenpachi hit him. He's dead.
This was a slasher movie for this specific scene. It was delicious.
Oh, it was fucking Looney Tunes. And when Kenpachi just eviscerates the person, I'm like, Jesus, everyone's pulling off their astral heats.
And just every single time the dude like went to another direction and Kenpachi's in front of them every time, like, I fucking love this character.
Yeah, because then he's like the goofy vice captain for Kenpachi, that little pink hair girl's also chasing him around, just laughing at him as he gets murdered. It's like, oh my god,
Kenpachi's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill you.
I'm like,
it's left.
It's incredibly easy to write a good Kenpachi scene, and they're very good at it.
Hitsuge is fighting the dude with a bunch of mechanical gadgets. He has like rope missiles that he reloads by sucking in more blanks. He makes Hitsugaya pressured for like 1 frame, and then Hitsugaya's like, there's no reason to save time, Bankai, and just instantly fucking freezes him and he explodes. Like, goodbye, it's over for you. We're going through these dudes fast. I think we would go through 3 in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
I know, great. It was so good.
Well, everyone's pulling off their somehow first round astral heats, so...
Soul Society's big cannon is ready, but Yamamoto's like, I'll wait until the people I didn't approve to go. I'll give them until the last second to fire. So to build tension. Ichigo's fighting the 2 big dudes at once, and he still hasn't used Bankai yet. Okay, Renji shows up to help and just launches him into the spirit tree, and him and Rukia are like, we're gonna fight these big guys. So Ichigo lands up in the tree. Gonryu's goading him and saying, Senna's already merged with the big tree and everything is useless. And Ichigo erases a bunch of the blanks and reveals him. Gonryu appropriately seems kind of intimidated by Ichigo.
Yeah.
Like there's this energy of, oh, this dude's gonna kick my ass. Ichigo uses Bankai and they start to fight. Gonryu has summon swords and blank attacks and a blank assist and like can control the spirit goop the tree's made out of. But none of that works, so he has to try the strongest attack in all of Bleach. A flashback. No! Soul Society banished us for being evil, so we're butthurt. That's it. That's his flashback.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, there's
cool.
nothing here.
I'm glad he had some depth there that Jinkaria did not.
Gonryu is like, Senna's not a real person. Why the fuck do you care? She's not real. She's not real, Ichigo. And then Ichigo like turns into Star Killer in The Force Awakens 2 and is like, she's real to me! And powers up.
It's hilarious that he's even pulling this, like, well, even if she's not real, you're trying to end the world. I feel like that's also at stake. I don't know if you forgot.
He forgot. He's worried about how she's a people.
Yeah, he didn't remember that fucking explanation. Ichigo's real big and strong. Senna is awake again and calling out. Yamamoto's like, fire the keto cannon. It's time. It's cool.
We got to talk about something. First time we bring up that eventually the dimensions will be out of range of the keto cannon. They say in 5 minutes. We cut back this much later to them saying, oh no, now it's going to pass out of critical range in 20 minutes in the US dub, subtitle 2. I'm like, yeah, guys,
yeah, they just did it wrong.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
it doesn't become 20 after that.
I don't know how they got that wrong.
Look.
I think it's really funny when we watch a feature out when they're like, we're reviewing the scripts to make sure everything is perfectly accurate to the Japanese source material.
Not the passage of time, though.
So the cannon hits the dimension and it starts to bleed and becomes like a final boss dungeon in a really cool JRPG.
Yeah, it's bleeding the dimensional goop. It's kind of like Little Nemo.
It's pretty great.
I like the touch where they go, well, based on the Sokyoku, just execution being a weird bird thing.
It's
like
also a big weird bird.
They're like, all right, every single part of Soul Society technology that's a weapon is going to turn into animals as it's about to hit its target.
We get a brief cut to Renji and Rukia's fights as they just murder these dudes. Even Rukia does. She gets to release her sword and reveals that it's an ice sword, like hits a guy, and she freezes the big dude with hand blades and shatters him. Except each piece becomes another jobber explicitly so Byakuya can show up and just erase him from history.
Wait, I'm trying to remember the comment that he made where it was just this immediate...
Be honored, you're going to die by my Bankai, Sinbon Sakura Kagayoshi, and then he's just dead.
Because at first I'm like, I don't necessarily need him to be in this movie. He does that line. I'm like, never mind, that was good.
Look, they weren't going to pass up the chance to get movie budget on the Senbon Sakura. They had to use it.
You know that is actually entirely fair. I also forgot that since this is a movie, they're like, we can cheat and show stuff early.
Yeah, because Rukia's Bankai was, what was it, Tsukishiro? So Moon White?
Yeah, that's only her Shikai, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ichigo and Gonryu are still fighting. They power up and do their big clash. It destroys the dumb spirit tree. Ichigo cut him in half and then he dissolves like Arya.
But it's great because they do the typical anime, like, they both cut each other. And then you get to see what happened, and his whole lower half is missing.
I know!
It's great.
That shit fell minutes ago.
It's just a tracking shot into the reveal of, he doesn't have a lower half.
That's what it should have happened at the end of the Phantom Menace.
Yes!
And then Darth Maul dissolves instead of falling down the pit.
And then he burns up like white sulfur.
Ichigo pulls Senna out of the tree and everybody escapes. There's a big celebration, but turns out the world is going to end anyway. Senna says she has to give herself up and give the blank souls their memories back. And then she's like, Ichigo, I really wanted your cock and I can't imagine a world without you, so I'm going to sacrifice myself to fix the barrier between worlds. So Ichigo, while she's dying, I guess, because I guess that didn't involve her dissolving right there. She has like time.
I guess.
Ichigo carries her body to the graveyard where she said her family was so she can see her actual name, but it's not there, and he says it is, I think.
I don't know. Yeah. They didn't translate the fucking grave.
Right. Yeah, I assumed it was just
entire left half being blank was just there's nothing there, so he's just gonna humor her.
That's what I assumed. Then she dissolves. Rukia shows up and says, we're all gonna forget Senna existed soon because this is a movie that can't be canon.
Yeah, it was a weird little detail.
Yeah, the exact phrasing was, she didn't live during a time that we were alive during, so she doesn't exist, so we won't remember her. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
I thought the point was that she wasn't real. She was like a weird coalesced personality of all these.
I know,
different
but
memories.
that's the lines they wrote. I was like, what the fuck?
I have to wonder if that's a super awkward translation. I did not read the
I
subtitles
don't
for
think the
that.
subtitles were that deviated. Usually I pick up when they're that far off.
I mean, that one could also be wrong. The subtitles could also be wrong.
They would never be wrong.
There's 20 minutes left until that shit blows up.
Hey,
Then we get
subtitles
a
got that
shock-
one right.
Then we get a shockingly bad, like cheap-looking credit scene that's just over like a establishing shot of Karakura Town. Then we get a post-credit scene. Ichigo sees a girl like Senna running past him on the bridge, because that's how you end every fucking story like this, I guess.
Well, yeah, there's a strong gust of wind at the water hole that was there that is no longer, and then the red ribbon flies back to him, and then Senna's being loud feral girl and runs past him, and he just smiles. And that's it.
I'm just really glad that the keto cannon that was told to do damage to both worlds did damage to no world.
Well, it made that zone start to collapse. It just wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, it made Nightmare Land start invading.
Yeah, just the idea that it's like, no, this is gonna fuck up our home and the living world while trying to blow that up, and it's like it didn't even like fully destroy the Valley of Scream.
Look, they overestimated this thing's power.
Okay, here's my thought. Okay, imagine two circles. Okay, that's the hole. That's the opening, right? And as they said,
Okay.
it was gonna leave the range, right? The critical range. So imagine these two circles moving past each other. It makes the hole smaller and smaller, right? So they shot it at the last second. Only the smallest bit of that keto cannon actually made it through.
Yeah.
It was
Thank you for fixing this movie for me.
you're welcome. Don't worry, there are 20 minutes left in this film. Oh wait, no, there are 2.
Oh.
One thing we forgot to talk about in the synopsis.
Yeah.
That title sucks. Like the fucking font where it just says
when it goes pans up to the
Bleach.
sky and shows this bleach in the sky, and it looks kind of bad.
Yeah. Absolutely terrible.
And I asked if you wanted me to change the Chugging Bleach logo to match this new logo treatment, and you died.
We're like, we don't want anyone to watch our podcast.
Not even one.
Not even one person.
All right. Well, now that we're through the synopsis, we can do, of course, the best dressed segment. You know, people had so many unique outfits in this movie, right? Like, it wasn't just all reruns, right?
Yeah.
All right, Dan, you're first up.
Oh, thank God. I'm going to choose Senna with the red ribbon. I swear I've seen her at least 2 other animes from around 2008. She's a good design. That's a solid outfit. It looks fine.
Nice. That's what we're looking for. Fine.
Yep.
I'm going to be greedy and go next.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to choose Orihime. She has a new shirt, has a big N on it. It's pretty good. I like it. Feel?
I'm gonna say Rukia in her dumb purple dress.
Yeah.
I thought it was a skirt, but looking closely, it's not because it goes up. She's just wearing like a blazer over it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, KZ. What do you got?
Ichigo. He has that outfit and where he has like long green pants with like the weird cloth like knee pads, and they're shredded at the bottom.
Oh yeah, they're the
Which
pants that you can unzip and turn to shorts.
That is what I think they look like. Yeah.
Okay, because I that and the bottoms of them just being ripped. At first, I'm like, is that an animation thing? And I'm like, oh no, that's just what they wanted to go for his pants today.
It's very stylish.
It is.
They sold them to him.
Which means it's okay.
Soul Society comes up to try them for that. You're going to prison. You sold him these pants.
All right,
Good.
Dan. Our next segment is how excited you are to continue watching Bleach on the scale of 1 to 10.
I'm going to put my excitement as a 10 because I realized I'm a damaged person and I need some canon bleach to help cleanse my soul.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm serious. When I hit that one song, I don't know, a fifth into this, that's when I realized, oh no, I associate that exclusively with the Bound arc now.
I have to hope that there are certain songs in the Bleach soundtrack that won't be used anymore. Mainly that one where they go, ah. that's supposed to be like vampire-esque. I hope that never shows up again.
Yeah, I think that's a Bounce exclusive thing.
Yes, that's the one that I associate the most with that.
The World Bounce exclusive.
I feel like that and the Final Fantasy IV song. I don't think either of those are coming back ever.
I hope the Final
I'm
Fantasy
so
IV
afraid
song
that one will come back.
God.
I mean,
I bet it'll come back in filler.
Maybe.
Damn, man.
Anything's possible in filler.
Yep.
All right, Phil, did you bring any trivia for this?
Bleach. The title Bleach is derived from Kubo Tite, because he likes it to be pronounced tight. Kubo Tite's favorite album, 1989 Nirvana debut album, Bleach. Is this true or false?
Fuck. Shit.
KZ, you can go first.
God damn it. By the way, in that DVD featurette, they called him Taito Kubo, and that made me die. I'm going to say it's real. Just fuck it. Why not?
Bob?
This seems too plausible. I'm going to say it's real.
Dan?
This seems too plausible. I'm going to say it's not real.
It is real. This shit is named after the Bleach studio album by Nirvana.
God damn it.
I thought Phil did some research to trick us. I was like, this is too perfect. This is too perfect. I'm going to say no.
All right. With that, we get to the part of the show we have to rate this on our tightness scale. It goes from 1 to 25. We could all, together, give this 100 points.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. KZ, you're up first for this one. How tight was this movie?
It was refreshing to no longer be in the Bounce arc. I also really liked a lot of the murdering that happened throughout the ending of this. It was really visceral in a way I wasn't really expecting. But the early parts were a little bit on the slow side. So I'm going to give this 18.
Mr. Phil?
I don't know. This had a lot of dead air. I'm going to give this a 13. It is certainly better than the vast. I think I don't remember what I gave every single part of the Bounce arc because it was 18 years long. But I feel like it definitely clears almost all of it.
Yeah,
so 13.
You only have one set of episodes from the entire Bounce arc that gets a 13.
Yeah.
Everything else is lower.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go. I actually kind of like the slower parts of this. I remember disliking this movie a good bit when it came out, but on reassessing it was...
After the Bounce arc broke me.
Yeah, after the Bounce arc broke me, after I just watched Bubble.
I know.
And not really being as upset about, man, they just left freaking Ishida and Chad out of this movie and Orihime.
Yeah,
and
that's
Yoruichi.
so upsetting.
But after getting over that, I kind of enjoyed this a decent bit. I'm going to give it a 19. This feels pretty solid. A huge step up from the Bounce arc. Oh my God. I actually cared about anything happening here. And that mall is neat looking.
Yeah.
Some of the powers that these guys use were at least interesting, like the dude with the I'm shooting out these strings that explode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neurons were firing.
I like neat things.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, how tight was this?
Well, you actually landed on the exact number I was going for. I'm going for 19. It isn't quite a 20. I too have given this the largest buff in the entire history of man. I watched it after all of the Bounce arc and Bubble.
Bubble's worse than a lot of the Bounce arc. It's horrible. How'd that happen?
People,
damn.
Please enjoy the references to Bubble. You will never hear them again.
Yeah, the only reason you're getting any is because this is the same day.
Yeah, this is the same recording day.
Yes.
Yeah, I genuinely liked a lot of the slower parts. I really liked them hanging out at the outdoor mall. I liked the relationship between Ichigo and Senna. I wish there was more of that and a lot less explaining mechanics of the climax of the movie and the motivation for these villains that don't matter and things like that. I think if we added 10 more minutes of that, I would like this even more. But yeah, I found it to be a pretty good movie overall. I wasn't staggeringly disappointed in anyone except for the Stealth Force, which nothing new.
It's to the point where they're comic relief.
As
That's
I said,
what I like. I love when they do.
a football game would end and a crowd would kill them.
Yeah, not a crowd of football players, random fans, not even rowdy fans.
They're not even rowdy. They're just leaving the stadium.
Yeah, they're leaving the bathroom. They're not even going in.
They're being orderly, and the Stealth Force somehow died. Yeah, 19 out of 25. Absolutely. I was surprised I liked this as much as I did. I hope they're all better than this. Like, I hope this is the worst movie somehow, excluding the live action movie, which is much worse.
Yeah.
And isn't a movie.
Hey,
real.
don't be mean. It only got an 8.
Yeah, that's all.
That's true. That makes it better than at least 2 Bout Arc episodes.
Jesus. All right. That brings our total score for the movie up to a 69.
Nice.
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 You know, we have a bar graph here for each set, and boy, is it towering over everything for the last 10 months.
Yeah, no, it's even towering over the double OVAs.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
God,
way better than that.
It's literally, it hasn't been this good.
Best thing since Eisen.
Yeah, it hasn't been this good since the Soul Society concluded, because that was a tight set of episodes.
That was when we hit the very top of the meter.
God, I missed that. Look at how high those numbers were. Look at what we used to have.
Soon.
Remember the day where 64, 79, 81, live action movie 8. But still, there were some good moments.
Those
there.
are decent. There's one dip, one serious dip, and it's episode 46 to 51 where we got a 39. Even 39 would be high for most of the Bout Arc, it feels.
Yeah.
Bout Arc goes like
we were
this.
like
18, 46, 30, 16, 13, 34.
That was back when we thought that was the worst form of writing in Bleach. It was like, this flashback seemed pretty fucking bad. And then we fell into a hole later.
And then, how would you like Jin Karia's flashback? We're going to give it to you 4 different times, and his motivations will be different in each.
And he is a peanut now.
The fucking entire Bout Arc feels like you went to a restaurant to eat a meal, and they brought you nothing but breadsticks for hours.
And they won't let you leave.
And they won't let me leave.
I'm glad this is over.
Yeah.
We're finally out of the filler. Next time will be Canon Bleach.
Whoa.
Weird.
Yeah, baby!
What is this? What is this I'm tasting? Is this canon? I like canon. I like this.
The last time I watched Canon, I lived across the country.
It's Keto Canon Bleach, though.
Oh no!
Thanks for listening. Chugging Bleach as a podcast is only possible thanks to the wonderful support of our patrons over on patreon.com/GBPodcast. If you're interested in supporting us, maybe getting Chugging Bleach as a show a little bit early, or the various other exclusive podcasts we have, whether they're extensions of our regular shows, the Cursed Content by Committee and its commentary tracks, or Bless Blunt and Blub, head on over to patreon.com/GBPodcast and pitch in $5 or more. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.